Hello, welcome to the Mardeana podcast. My name is Kirsten. If this is your first time discovering me on YouTube, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, thanks for coming back. I have a lot to get into because it's been a while since I filmed. I don't think I filmed at all during April. It is now the first Sunday of May. I believe it's the 6th. No, it would be the 7th, yes, because the 5th was Friday. So it's Sunday the 7th, and a lot has happened since March, with my, at least as far as like knitting goes and everything that you're probably here for an update on. So yeah, so welcome, and let's kind of dive right in. Oh, quickly, where you can find me, if you don't know, you can find me on Instagram at Mardeana Knits. We'll put the handle here. I'm also on Ravelry. I'm not the best at having project pages, but that's a new goal that I have to get better at maintaining those and even just having them in the first place. So you can go ahead and find me on there, and you can expect that those project pages are going to start to populate. My goal is to do at least a couple a week of ones that I've already done, while also starting and maintaining ones for projects that I'm going to be starting currently and moving forward. So if you want any notes on those, if you want to know who the patterns are by, what kind of yarn I'm using, what needle I'm using, and what my gauge is, things like that, you can find that all on there. So yeah, there's my quick little introduction, because like I said, I want to get right into this.
I'd like to acknowledge that this episode was filmed on Treaty 6 territory, a traditional meeting grounds and gathering place to the many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples. I acknowledge the ancestors whose footsteps have marked these lands for millennia.
I do have a few finished objects. So the first one I want to get into is the one that I am actually wearing. So I had talked about this in my last episode. It's my first ever test knit that I've done. So I'm very excited. It is completely done. I've worn it multiple times, so this definitely is not the first time that I've put it on my body. But the pattern is the Amadeo Summer Sweater. It's by Calibri. Her name is Joanna, and she's out of Berlin. I absolutely love being part of the test knit. It was the first one I've ever done. The only challenging part for me was the fact that we're in such very different time zones. So if I were to post a question into the test knit group, it might not get answered until the next day. So I'd have to put the project down and then wait for the next day for someone for her to wake up over in Germany and then give me the answer, or for someone else in the group who might already have figured out the answer to give it to me. So, but other than that, it was a great test knit. Joanna is such a doll. She's really, really nice. And the pattern as it came, there wasn't a lot of editing that needed to be done. So good job to her and her tech editors, because they did a great job at getting it basically ready to go from the very beginning of the testing phase. So yeah, I will stand up and I'll show it to you. So I absolutely love it. It has just basic ribbing at the bottom, and then same here. It's a bit of a balloon sleeve, so it is quite loose, and then it cinches in there. And then the neckline, I think it turned out really well. I think I did pretty good at picking up my stitches and making it look nice and clean on the inside. And then it's a basic raglan construction. So the front and the back, it's all just stockinette, vanilla knitting. And then the sleeves are lace. So you knit all the way in the round until you separate for the sleeves. And then from there, you know, the body is perfect for on-the-go knitting because it's just vanilla. And then the sleeves were really great for, you know, while you're at home watching TV or whatever, when you can put a little bit more brain power into making sure that you don't mess up the lace. But the lace pattern itself is quite intuitive. Once you get the hang of it and you know which stitches need to stack on top of which ones, you can just go. Like, it was really, really easy. So I would call this not a beginner friendly pattern, but maybe a moderate level knitter could probably do this. Maybe if it's your second or third garment, I would definitely give it a go, but I absolutely loved it. Oh, the yarn, I'll I'll show you. I bought a total of 4 skeins and I used just over 3. Like here's the leftover of one of the cakes. And it's Cascade Yarns Heritage, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And it's in the colorway Como Blue. And I absolutely loved using this yarn. It is getting a little bit fuzzy right now. So I might need to get, or use a shaver on it, just to make it look a little bit cleaner again. But it was a great yarn to work with. It wasn't splitty at all with my needles or anything, and I would recommend for anyone else to give it a shot. Yeah, so I'm just realizing I am actually kind of thirsty, so I'm gonna crack open a drink. It's just bubbly water, nothing special, nothing crazy. I'm over there. Link can look after my drink. So yeah, what's the next one I want to talk about? Oh, normally I have my socks hanging up here, but I forgot. They are still down here. So these are my magic heel socks that I finished. The pattern is, let me just grab it. The pattern is by Autumn Acorn, and it was a paid-for pattern on Ravelry. And the advantage of this pattern is it's great for if you're knitting for someone whose feet are still growing, so a child, because the heel is right there, and it kind of like, it'll move with your foot. And I also heard it was a great pattern for self-striping socks, because you don't have to, you're not changing anything here, right? You just keep going. So I liked making them. The pattern didn't quite keep my interest like a regular vanilla sock would. Something about, like, especially during the second sock, I definitely did get a taste of that second sock syndrome. So I don't know if I would recommend using this pattern for adult feet if you don't like ribbing. Let's just put it out there. If you're not a fan of doing ribbing, I wouldn't recommend this pattern for you. I like the challenge, or not the challenge, but the structure of a basic I've partridge heel, the heel flap and gusset kind of style, because it's like you just power through, get that heel done. The structure of it feels really nice. However, let's be honest, I actually haven't even tried these on. So I'm only talking about it from an aspect of actually being a maker behind it. So let's do a live try on. So I've taken it off the blocker. I'm going to take off my current socks, which are also handmade. I am wearing my Totally Rad Ribbed socks by Summerlee Design Co. And they are holding up really well. I wear them a lot. A little bit less now because it is getting warmer. But let's take that one sock off. Let's try this one on. The yarn, while I put this on my foot, the yarn is by Over the Moon Dye Works, and the colorway is called Beaches of Europa. There's the label there, Beaches of Europa. It's their Electron sock base, 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, and it's a 100-gram ball with 400 meters. That's how much I have left. So yeah, I have a future project that I might use that scrap in, and I'll talk about that in a second. But here you go. Da, 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 da. My sock. Alright, so let's look at this. It is feeling pretty comfy. The heel, it's going down past into my arch, like where the ribbing begins, and it's going up over. It's feeling comfy. I like it. Yeah. I think it turned out good. And the teal matches this great. So so as far as feel goes, I think that they feel great. I will give an update once I actually wear them with shoes outdoors, you know, for maybe like more than a minute. But yeah, those are completely done. It's a finished object, and that feels really good because, you know, the more finished objects I have, I don't know, I'm a quantitative person. I like to add things up and tally up and see how much progress I've made on things and how productive I've been. So that is that one project. So magic heel socks. Next one was a present I was making for my child. and it is called the QB Foxy Fox. The pattern is from a website. It's craftybunnyBun.com. So there's lots and lots of different animals on there, but this one here is the fox. And I had a lot of fun making this. The actual crocheting of it, because it is more of like an amigurumi style, the crocheting really didn't take that long. It took me maybe a couple hours to crochet. I will be honest, I'm a very fast crocheter, so maybe not everyone will get it done in that kind of timeline, but for me personally, this went pretty quick. The longest part of this was just waiting for the nose and eyes to get delivered. I just ordered it through Amazon. So I would definitely recommend this pattern for anyone wanting to make a gift or a stuffy for themselves. It just is so cute. I will also attach a link for the eyes and nose. It came in like this big pack with assorted sizes of both eyes and nose. And I would definitely recommend them. They're very well made. I had to actually get some help with my husband's hands to snap them in because they are like a safety eye, so they're not gonna come out. But I really liked it. I might make other animals from this. They're just so cute. I actually made a reel about this and put it on Instagram, and it was the funnest reel I've ever made. I thought it turned out really, really cute. But yeah, the yarn is just that Bernat blanket chunky yarn. It's that like velvety stuff. So really good for stuffies. It does attract dog hair, I'm not gonna lie, but we have dogs. What are you gonna do? It's just a fact of your life. So yeah, I cast this on March 15th and I finished it April 16th. I probably could have finished it within a day if I had all the parts with me, but I had to wait for the eyes and nose to get shipped. And by the time they got here, I was like wrapped up in making this. So I didn't immediately finish it off. It kind of sat in my wet basket in my living room for a little bit longer than it probably should have, but it's done. My kid loves him. Their friends are now just kind of a little bit jealous, and they're asking for me to make them foxes or like the bumblebee that I had made. I think I shared that in episode 1 or 2, but yeah. There is the QB Foxy Fox by Crafty Bunny Bun. So super, super, super cute. Now, I'm gonna get into my whips because those are all of my FOs, and I have a few. So let's talk about the first one. It is actually another test knit. It's by the same designer as this one, so Calibri, Joanna out of Berlin. She accepted me basically immediately, so I think maybe we're getting a little bit of a working relationship that way. Maybe she trusts me, and I know that my size, because I'm not a teeny tiny person. This is size 2XL. I believe I knit on this one with size 2XL, and the one I'm about to show you is a size XL, and I'm really enjoying it, so I'm gonna grab it. Okay, so first let's just talk about the yarn real quick, because it's really not that special of yarn. It is this, and she wanted us to work with a cotton. She, I believe, used We Are Knitters The Cotton in worsted weight for her sample piece, but I don't really want to buy from We Are Knitters. If you know, you know. So yeah, I just went to local Michael's here. That's what we have in Canada, and I bought creme cotton, and it is in the color Deep Orchid, and it is, what was it? It is 87% cotton and 13% nylon. So it's a medium weight, number 4 for crocheters, but otherwise known as worsted. It's quite nice. I really like that it's not just 100% cotton, because with the little bit of nylon in there, it'll give it a little bit of structure, and it'll keep it looking sharp. Like it's not gonna like kind of like get that fuzzy look to it. But here it is. It is called the Anders Tee. So it's just gonna be a t-shirt. It's not gonna be long sleeve like this. You get it turned around, and this is it. I cannot wait to wear this. It is so pretty. I have reached the bottom and I'm working on the ribbing. I literally have one more row. It's 1x1 twisted ribbing, one more row to go, and then I get to bind off. So that's what I had done on the neckline too, was the 1x1 twisted ribbing. And yeah, and then once I'm done that, I get to pick up the sleeves, put them back on needles, finish them off, and I'll be done. I believe the deadline for this is May 17th, so it'll be done. It's gonna be done so fast because I want to wear it. I am picturing this because it's like this, like kind of like this modern pink color. I'm kind of thinking of wearing like a neon yellow tank top underneath it, so that's what kind of shows through the diamond lace pattern. I don't know, I think that would be kind of a fun look. I kind of go with basic, you know, blacks or grays or whatever underneath. I think that this could go with some summery color. If you have a suggestion for another color that might look good under this, leave a comment below. I would love to know. I'm not always the best at matching colors, so if you have a suggestion that you think would go with this, I would love to hear it. As far as when this pattern does get released, I would not recommend this for a beginner's knitter. It is a raglan construction, just like this one. I like a raglan on my body shape. The way that the lace incorporates into the raglan, as well as keeping track of it when you're separating for the sleeves, it's quite a lot. I really, really do recommend this pattern. It has been so much fun to knit. The fact that it's on a worsted weight, it flies off the needles. It goes so fast. And then the finished product, I'm just really excited for. So yeah, if you're wanting to give this a go, if you do consider yourself to be a bit of an advanced knitter, dive right in. As soon as that pattern gets released, follow Calibri on Ravelry or even on Instagram, and just so that you can keep up to date with when it gets released, go for it. If you are a beginning knitter, try something a little bit easier with lace. If you've never done a raglan before, do another raglan first, because if you have those two skills already set, then this isn't going to be an issue for you. And if I know a lot of us joke about like overestimating our math skills when it comes to knitting or crochet. If you really, really don't feel confident in your math skills or your skills to really figure things out in a 3D way in your brain, maybe take a step back, slow it down, or gather those skill sets first and then start tackling a project like this. I don't mean to scare anybody away, but just it does look like so easy, but I don't want anyone to get into this who it's maybe too advanced for them. But I will never discourage you from getting to the point where you would feel comfortable doing a project like this. So I absolutely have loved this pattern. I will be sharing it hopefully as a finished object on my next episode. Yeah, so that is my latest test knit. As far as test knits go, I think after this one, I'm gonna slow down and just focus on the projects that I want to do for me. Not that I don't want this. I want this in my wardrobe so bad. So, but I'm just going to focus on the things that I've already, you know, put in my queue and I've already bought the yarn for and things like that. So yeah, that is the Anders Tea test knit that I'm doing for Calibri. Next is just it's a new project that I have taken on. It is a bit of a stash buster, especially for scraps, anything that you have for 20 grams or more. And I am, I'm keeping it in my Lone Larch bag, mushrooms, super cute, right? And this project is, I actually got inspired from Knitty Natty. If you don't watch her on Instagram, I think most knitters do. If you are into the whole knitting podcast thing, you've probably heard of Knitty Natty. But she recently, with one of her Christmas advents, started doing the Quadrophenia blanket. And I'm really enjoying it. The pattern is by K.F. Jones, and it was on Ravelry. It's a paid-for pattern, just a heads up. But yeah, it just eats up all of your stash. So here's the beginning of one of the quadrants. So essentially you're going to make 4 of these, and these just keep growing off, and so you'll have 4 great big triangles, and then you seam them together to make a square. And one of the great things about this is, well, there's multiple great things. It busts any stash that you have. It is great portable project because you're not working on the whole blanket all at once. You're just going to work on one of the quadrants, 4 quadrants in total, and then it's all garter, so it's just back and forth knitting. It's going to be so stretchy and so nice. And I'm just using up my stash. So this one here is, this quadrant is done, and then this is my to-go knitting with me, and this is the next one that I have begun. So this is just in the very beginning phase. I was actually working on this when I was over at my friend's new boyfriend's house last night. We were watching the Oilers kick Las Vegas's butt in game 2. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I have this little marker here just to mark which one is the right side, because you increase on your right side and you don't on the wrong side. So that just helps me keep things nice and even, because when you're working in garter stitch, there is no obvious right or wrong side. So, and I'm really enjoying that. I just put whatever ball I'm currently working on in here, and then this can fit into my purse. But then I keep the whole project into here. And right now, as of this second, I only have 5 other balls that I'm going to add into it. But we'll touch on that more here right away, I promise. So that is my quadrophenia blanket. Even though there's only like 7 colors in there total, I think you need 24. I promise there's more coming. So that is the next whip, and I don't know, I'm just excited to have it. I think it'll be really cozy to wear, or cozy to lay under on my couch, or while I'm working from home, or wherever. I think it'll be a great little blanket to have. So yeah, the next project I have, it is just another pair of vanilla socks on 9-inch circulars. The pattern is by the Crazy Sock Lady. It's on Ravelry. But I absolutely love this yarn. It was a sock set that I got from Lily and Pine. The color is Peace and Love, and it's their Day Lily sock base, which is an 80/20 merino nylon blend. But here it is. There's the main color. Like, oh, it's just so pretty. I absolutely love that color. And then this is the mini. So I bought this at the Fiber Frolic last fall, and it was a set. So you bought the 100 gram, and you could grab whatever color of the 25 gram mini that you wanted. And so those are the 2 that I went with, and I'll show you what I've made so far with it. It's just a mini. I'm just making a shorty sock, so I'm just modifying the pattern that Crazy Sock Lady developed, and I'm using the Eye of Partridge heel because, as I mentioned, that's my favorite. It feels so good on the back of my foot. And here it is. So on the top I did 1x1 rib, and I did 7 rows. I'm kind of cheesy, but 7 is my lucky number. I love the number 7. My husband and I, we got married on 7/7/7, so July 7th of 2007 is our anniversary. So I don't know, the number 7, something about it, and I just thought it looked like a really cute top of the ankle. And then I did 10 rows here, and then that's when I began my heel flap and gusset, and then I continued on, and I've actually reached the point I am done the foot. I do a 50 row foot because I wear a size 7 shoe, sometimes a size 6.5 shoe. So 50 rows is perfect for me, and then I'm going to start the toe, and the toe is once again going to be in the blue color. And I feel like I'm going to have a lot of yarn left, so some of this will probably go into my quadrophenia. So I'll weigh it, and then I usually take about 21.5 grams off just to give myself that little bit of allowance, and then whatever's left, I don't know what I'll do with. Maybe I'll make another pair of shorties. Maybe my kid will want some matching socks. I don't know, but I absolutely love this color, and I will be buying more Lily and Pine yarn, because it's really nice to work with, and the colors are absolutely stunning. I would love to one day do maybe a sweater or a vest or cardigan in their yarns, just because it's so bright and happy and cheerful. Must go faster. Souffle tea. The souffle tea. I've talked about this one a couple times over. I have made some progress on it since the last time. The yarn, it's all just mohair. So it's held double, so that's why I have 2 balls here. And it's the Pro Lana Kilsetta yarn in the slate colorway. So this is like a lace weight mohair yarn. I believe it's 70% mohair, 30% silk. So I've not made huge progress, but I have started the I-cord on the neckline. So I'm really liking the look of the I-cord, but there's something about doing an I-cord edging, it just seems to take forever and ever and ever and ever to get it done. So I've taken a break. I've put my little stitch stoppers on there. I'm just using basic little DPNs because that's most efficient for making I-cord in my opinion. But yeah, oh, I guess I'll hold it up. If it's your first time here, it's a t-shirt. This here I'm gonna pick up, and it'll be a ruffle that goes all the way around the shoulders and back. It has an eye or a little keyhole, so a button will go right there, and it has the keyhole, and then it's short sleeve. Oh, I did finish that too, so I finished whip stitching down the sleeves, and then as I mentioned before, I'm going to cut off the bottom where I've already done this hem. I'm gonna cut it off because it's kind of flaring and I don't like that, and also it's too short. I always, on almost all patterns, need to extend the body by about 2 inches. I know that the big fashion trend right now is cropped tops, but I am a 38-year-old woman. I know what I do and don't like on my body at this point in my life, and I don't like cropped. So if I need to extend the body on a pattern, I will do it, because if the top of it and other details I absolutely love, that's what matters to me. I can modify the length of the body on a shirt so easily. So don't let, you know, things like that deter you from choosing patterns too. So like if you want a sweater but you would rather it be t-shirt style, whatever, just stop knitting sooner. And just think about the math as far as how you want it to fit on your bicep, or same with the opposite. If it's a t-shirt and you want it to be a sweater, just make the sleeves longer and then change the way that you do the wrist. Compare it to another pattern that maybe you've done already where you like the way that it fit around your wrist, you know? Make those modifications. The more patterns you do, the more that you'll be able to change those little things to make things accommodate and fit your body the way that you want. Because basically what we're doing when we're knitting is we're making couture pieces. I know that it's homemade, handmade, and you know that kind of comes with a bit of a stigma, you know, especially, you know, as a kid growing up, you didn't want to be that kid that shows up in homemade jeans or whatever. But the world is changing. I think that the appreciation for handmade items is so much more. So go ahead and make those couture pieces for yourself and make them fit your body the way that you want to. Make it fit comfortably. If you need to rip it back multiple times, that's okay. You know, you're spending X amount of dollars on the yarn and the pattern. Why not get all those extra hours of time into making this piece? Because for me, knitting and crochet, it's meditative, it's therapeutic. So if it takes longer to make something, that's fine. I just got extra meditation or extra therapy out of creating that piece. And the fact that, you know, maybe it takes me a week longer or whatever, it really doesn't bother me. So if it does bother you, I encourage you to maybe look at it from that perspective. Be like, do you know what? Like, yeah, I spent $100 on this yarn. I'm gonna make it last for as long as possible, and I'm gonna get as much enjoyment out of making it as I can. So yeah. And then I have one last whip, only the one, but I honestly don't know if it's worth showing because I don't think I've made any progress on it since the last time I talked. They are the Dandelion Wishes socks. So here they are. has like a little dandelion pattern in there. And it was a sock set that I got from Numana Yarns. And it is their Salisbury sock base, Peace, Hope, and Strength kit number 3. So this is the, for heels, heel, cuff, and toe. And then this is the main color right there. So it's white with the blue and yellow. And I got this at the Fiber Frolic that was about a year ago right now. The very first one that they ever had. And it was when, you know, when everything in Ukraine was initially kind of happening. And this yarn, when you bought it, the proceeds went to Red Cross efforts over there. So I bought it because I felt really good making that kind of purchase. So yeah, and I'm just keeping it in that pencil case I got at Walmart. I slapped a Luna sticker on there because I love Luna. She's awesome. She doesn't put up with nothing. That is everything I have for whips. Next is going to be acquisitions. So if you love looking at yarn and other things, this is where the bulk of the episode will probably be. So yeah, I am going to just dive right in because since the last time I filmed, I have gone to 2 yarn festivals, 2. So let's talk about the first one I went to. This one I went to the day before my birthday. So April 8th, I went with my friend Sydney down to Camrose for the Rose City Fiber Festival, or Fiber Fest. And it was in conjunction with an alpaca show. So you go off onto the left when you go in there, and you can go and you can see all the yarn and all the different vendors, and you can do all of your shopping. And then when you come back out to the right, was the alpaca show. Like, they were actually handing out ribbons and presenting these alpacas, and they were all being judged. And so I only got to pet one, and he was the grand champion, which is probably why he was so friendly, and he was right up at the front of his little pen area, and he actually let me pet him, and he was so cute. All the other ones were kind of off in the back corner. Most of them were in groups, and they were all huddled off in the back corner. But maybe I'll get a couple photos, because I did take some photos and a video of the grand champion, and I'll maybe get my husband to put a couple up here, because he will be editing this episode for me. But yeah, so while we were there, I got quite a few good things. I'm just keeping it all. I did not buy this bag there, but this bag is by BK Bling Bags, based out of Alberta here. And my friend Sydney, while we were there, she was so kind. She bought me this bag of Corriedale. It's a 100-gram bag of Corriedale, and it is from Handspun by Kristi. And I have never spun yarn before, so Sydney bought this for me. She has experience with knitting. I'll also link, she has a podcast too, so I'll leave a link down there for her too. And she got this for me, and I'm going to try and do just some hand spinning with this, or drop spinning I should say. So I got this 100-gram, and then a friend, a mutual friend of ours, actually lent me, because she has many drop spindles, so I haven't invested in any, but she actually lent me her drop spindle. I haven't tried using it yet. This one is by Ashford out of New Zealand. I'm gonna give this a shot. I'm not gonna break it or anything, and then I'll hand it back to her, and then I'll invest in my own, because I would like to have my own. I'm pretty sure one day I'll wind up with an actual, like, sit-down spinner, but as of right now, I'm just going to do the drop spindle and see how I like that. And so this was what Sydney recommended that I try. So that's what I'm going to try. And I will be posting about that on Instagram and on my stories as I learn and I progress with that skill. So very excited for that. I haven't opened any of this because I've wanted to share it with you guys before I actually start utilizing any of it. So yeah. But I did actually buy one item from BK's Bling Bags, which is where this project bag is from. And it's actually this little organizer. Super cute. It was only $25. Everyone else, they had like another flap that went over like this, which would then like hold your DPN. So this isn't necessarily for DPNs, but it was so much cheaper than what was at the other tables. And also I really liked the fabric. Like, it has this little lady in a raincoat, and then she's like walking her dog, and there's birds, and I just thought it was adorable. So yeah, so I bought this, and I'm gonna organize all of my DPNs in there. Maybe I'll make a story about that, and then I can just roll it up and then tie it off with the strap, and then all of my DPNs are organized, because right now they're all just in a bag, and then all those DPNs, I've kept them in their individual cases that they had come with when I bought them from the store, because I use all different kinds. So yeah, I would just like to have those better organized. And then that quadrophenia blanket that I was talking about, I have started to, because I would always go to these festivals and I would buy like full skeins of yarn, and I would have no plan for them. But now I'm like, well, this quadrophenia, whenever I see a yarn that I really, really like, but I don't necessarily have a plan for, I'll look and see if they have it in a mini. And then I'll add that into my quadrophenia. Like, how great is that, right? So I bought both of these. They're both 20-gram minis from Cindy Marie Creates, and they're 75-25. And I absolutely love these. These don't have their colorways on them, but this one, like, it's just like a sky blue, kind of variegated. And then this one here, it's light pinks down to like a dark, like burgundy. I don't know, it kind of made me think of like a chocolate dipped strawberry. So I will ball those up, and I'm going to add those into my quadrophenia, so that, you know, brings up the count that I need for all of the different sections in there. While I was at that booth, I got really excited by this color too, but I didn't realize it was the DK. So I'm not going to be able to put this into my quadrophenia, but that's okay. Maybe I'll use it. I have some people in my life that are having babies. Maybe I'll make a baby item out of this. Like, how cute would that be as like a little bonnet or some booties or something for just a little baby? So, and it's a DK, and I believe it's the same base. Yeah, 75-25. Yeah, so I'll be using that for probably a baby item. And then while we were there, I saw this yarn, and first of all, I thought it was gorgeous. And then I turned around and I saw the name. It's called Bing Bong. We'll throw up a picture of Bing Bong right here. If you've never watched Inside Out, you're missing out. It's a great movie. I recommend you go watch it. But here it is. It's Bing Bong. It's all the colors of Bing Bong. I saw that it was Bing Bong. I almost immediately started crying because I've seen the movie so many times, and I love Bing Bong. Oh, he's so cute. But yes, I bought this yarn. At first I saw it and I said, nope, I don't need to buy any full skeins. I finished walking around the festival, and I told Sydney, I was like, I can't stop thinking about Bing Bong. And she told me, she's like, those are your colors. Like, everybody laughs in my knitting group. We all know that I love the pinks and purples and blues and teals, and yeah. So then Sydney was like, just buy it. And I was like, okay, twist my rubber arm. And I bought it. I think that I will probably make this a hat out of this. I'm going to try my best not just to do another Musselburgh, but that's kind of my go-to. That's what I love. But we'll see. I'm so excited for this. Oh, it is by Margaret Fibers. She's out of Strathmore, Alberta. And this one is a 75-25 merino nylon blend, and it's fingering weight yarn. I'm so excited. And I actually will get to put this over here in my stash now that I've shown you guys, and then I can like look at it a little bit more. But yeah, that is, I believe, oh no, I got a couple other little things. I also got these out of the Ute Yarnery. So Ute Yarnery, they have like a truck, like a little trailer that they travel around. So once we came out, we saw that the Ute Yarnery was there, and I just grabbed these because you can never have enough stitch stoppers. So I got some hot pink, and then I got some like emerald green, and they're just kind of like little cubey, geometric shaped. They're by Crafty Fibre Yarns. And I just thought that those would be really cute because you can never have enough stitch stoppers, especially when you have as many whips on the go as I do. And then yesterday I went to the Fiber Frolic again. However, they're no longer called the Fiber Frolic. They are called the Gathering Threads Festival. So I think they're trying to branch out to do more, not just knitting, it's also crochet, embroidery, spinning. They had macrame. They also had like a gallery full of different art that was created by local artists, but it was all like fiber related. A lot of it had to do with the ocean. I don't know if there was necessarily like a theme or something, but yeah, a lot of it looked ocean related, and it was really cool. So yeah, once again, that Ute Yarnery trailer was there. It was actually indoors though, so that was cute. And I just bought some basic Estelle Suds 200 crafting cotton, and I just thought this cute. I thought this color was cute. It's called Frost. So it has blues and whites and then these little bits of purple. And I just thought it was really pretty. And I thought that this would be great for on-the-go knitting. And just start doing like some dishcloths. I was kind of inspired by one of my fellow knitters that I knit with every Tuesday night. She's always doing dishcloths, and I'm like, that's a great idea. Like, we wash dishes. Like, why not have some yarn? So yeah, I grabbed this, and once I'm done the socks that I'm currently making, I think that this will take over for my on-the-go knitting. And then, also while I was there, I got many other things. Okay, so to go with the spinning, the drop spinning that I got there, we were at Fireweed Fibre Co, and some of my friends actually know the dyer there, so we always stop by and we always talk for a while. And I was there and I saw this sale bin. I was like, ooh, and I saw this. Like, how pretty is that braid? It's called, the colorway is Freezies. They're probably not dyeing this colorway anymore because it was on sale, so but you can always check their website just to be 100% sure. But this is 100% Corriedale, so this matches exactly with the white that I had gotten at the previous Fiber Festival. So I will be able to ply the two together as long as everything goes smoothly with that first drop spin that I do with just the undyed Corriedale that I have over there. But yeah, they're both 100 grams, so you know, perfect. So I loved all the colors in this. So we got like dark purple, bright pink, this like bright blue, even little bits of orange. I'm not much of an orange person. I worked at Home Depot for too long. But this orange, like, it's a cool orange. Like, it's totally an orange freezy, right? Like a Mr. Freezy. So yeah, I'm really excited to be able to spin that up because I think it's just going to be so pretty. Oh, it smells so good. Does anyone else do that? Just smell their fibers. It just smells so good. And then I wanted to get some self-striping yarn for more socks because, yeah. But I just got this little half skein, so it's like 50 grams. And so I got this. It's from Comfy Cozy Knits, and I really like the colors. So we got purple, there's like a dark purple, light purple, there's this hot pink, and then this really bright blue, and it's Summer Solstice is what it's called, the colorway, and it's 80/20 superwash merino nylon blend, 50 grams. So this will be perfect. I might add a black or maybe like a dark blue or something to do the heels and toes. But yeah, these are going to be so much fun. My friend that I was there with, Lindsay, the one who lent me the drop spinner, she actually got some self-striping, another, like exactly this, but in a different colorway for herself. So I'm really excited to see what both of us come up with. And then while I was at that same booth, I saw this blush. It's not necessarily my color, but I just thought it was such a nice soft color. And I thought that this would go perfect in my quadrophenia blanket. So there's another color to go into that blanket. Yeah, so exactly the same fingering weight yarn. I just thought it was so cute. The next one that I got, and I'll bring all of these out, was from, it just says MC, oh, midknitcravings.com, and the colorway is Pandemonium. So this is just another one to go into my quadrophenia blanket. It is like a gray color, but then it has these little flecks of neon pink and yellow and green and blue and little bits of dark purple and I think it'll look kind of like a confetti cake when it's in there, but yeah. So that will also go into my quadrophenia. 2 more for my quadrophenia here. Both are from Numana Yarns. They're in their Burberry Sock Mini. This one is just called Pow Pink. It's super bright. It's like a deep bubblegum color. I just thought that would be, that's a very me color. And then this one here is Paintball Fight. And we got bits of blue and purple and pink and orange on a cream kind of white base. But once again, for my quadrophenia. And then this one, I've always wanted to buy from Rosehill Yarns. I have one project in mind that I think their yarn would be perfect for. So I'll have to either hit them up directly or maybe I'll go to Yarn Divas because they always have a really big selection of their yarns. So yeah, this is once again for my quadrophenia. But oh, look at those greens and teals. Like, it's just so nice. So this one is a fingering weight and it's a 75-25 superwash merino nylon blend. I think it'll go great in my quadrophenia. My goal is to have all different kinds of colors and not have any 2 same colors kind of like touching, or 2 like very similar colors touching. And then we got pulled into a finished object parade because I was wearing this. My 2 friends that I was with, they also were wearing finished objects, and there was a bit of a contest. I did not win, but someone at my table did, and they said that they didn't know anybody who was going to be having a baby. And as I mentioned, I have a couple people, and they had won in their package these inserts. So these are to go like at the bottom of a pair of little booties. They're by Crafty Bones, and they're just so like super warm, and they're for crochet. So they already have these little holes all the way around, and that's for you to be able to like put your hook in and then be able to start creating your little boots. But yeah, so these, the girl who won the prize pack, she actually just kind of handed these to me, which was very generous. Like, these aren't cheap. These are real lambskin and real leather. So yeah, so I was very grateful to be able to get these because now I can make a really nice baby present for someone, and they will be very grateful for that. And that was everything I got. Whew. Not to say that that's not a lot, but yeah, that's everything that I got out of the 2 festivals, and I'm so excited to have shown that to you guys because now I can start utilizing some of those items as I go knitting in the evening. I still do intend, here I'll bring it up real quick, to make that cardigan I had talked about being my birthday cardigan, but then I had gotten wrapped up in those test knits. So here it is again. It's the honey cardigan, and the book is Knit This, and it's by Kutova Kika. If you don't follow her on Instagram, you should. So there's her name right there, Kutova Kika. So yeah, you should definitely follow her. She's still making lots of patterns. She has individual patterns on Ravelry as well. But this one, I just think that that's just so cute, and I love the texture of it. Like, it looks so nice. So I'm thinking of doing it in maybe a light purple or a light blue color, and I think it'll just be so comfy and cozy. So yeah, that's everything that I've gotten. Now, I guess I'll just give a very quick update on life. I'm going to try and keep this short because my husband recently joined slow pitch like softball, and tonight is their first game. So we need to be able to head out of here soon and be able to make it onto that real quick. But we met up with my sister who lives out of town, and we took all of our kids. So I have 1, my sister has 2. We took our kids to go see the new Super Mario Brothers movie, and it was so good, so good. I absolutely loved it. Jack Black was hilarious, and the characters were all just absolutely adorable. It was way different than that kind of creepy version that we all got when we were growing up in the 90s. The one with John Leguizamo playing Luigi. Yeah, that one that's like nightmare fuel, that movie. If you're not into puppets, I'm gonna tell you guys something a little shocking about me. I hate puppets. The ones from the 80s and 90s, something about them creep me out. So the Goombas, I know that they're not puppets, but they have like those weird mask thingies on. They creep me out. Prepare to be shocked. E.T. I hate E.T. Creeps me out. I have heard, I'm not the only one, but there's something about him. He just creeps me out. Dark Crystal, creepy, creepy, creepy. Fraggle Rock, creepy. All of those. Oh, the Gremlins movie. Don't get me started. I hate it. Like, those puppets are so friggin' creepy. Okay? If you like it and it doesn't turn your stomach to watch these creepy ass puppets, all the power to you. Go ahead and watch them. But please don't ask me to join you. I'm not gonna do it. Creepy. So yeah. So yeah, this new Mario movie, step up from the last one. It was absolutely great. And then I've been watching a couple of interesting documentaries. The first, I watched it actually Friday night. It was so good. So if you have Amazon Prime, I definitely recommend it. It was called The Pez Outlaw. So you know the Pez candies with the little dispenser with the little cartoon head at the top? It was really interesting. It was really good. I started watching it by myself. My husband, who isn't necessarily the biggest of documentary watchers, but if I wind up watching something that is really interesting and it's not about just like murder or something like some corrupt politician or something, like he'll start watching. And this one, it got him. And I was recommending it to my friend last night when we were watching the hockey game. I was like, you gotta watch The Pez Outlaw. Like, it's so good. So if you have Amazon Prime, go and look it up. It's so good. It's like an hour and a half long and you're not going to regret it. It is so interesting and all the people are so good. Absolutely loved it. And then just this morning I watched another one on Netflix, and it was The Volcano Rescue from Wakari. And it was an eruption that happened in 2019 out off of New Zealand. And it was about like this group of tourists. They're on the island where the volcano is. Locally it's called White Island. And it was about the rescue efforts and everything that went on behind that. I did cry a few times watching it. The story was really, really good though. So I do recommend that one. That one also was about an hour and a half. So I would recommend that one. And then other than that, I've just been listening to a lot of My Favorite Murder, which I've always enjoyed. I kind of stopped listening to it for a little while, so I have a bit of a catalog to catch up on from ever since January, which I'm totally fine with. I can just binge those girls, and I absolutely love them. And then I've been listening to just a lot of music while I work, because I've started a new job. I'm still with the same company I was with, but it's a different position in a different department, and it's in a different office. We have multiple offices over the city. So I'm working in a completely different area of town, and I'm actually taking transit now. So if you're watching on the stories, you'll see me doing my bus knitting. So I drive my car to a place, park the car, get on the bus, and then I go to my job, and it's an express bus, and I do my job, and then I get back on the bus and it takes me back to my car. And it just saves me money on having to pay for parking, having to fight for a parking stall once I get there, because it's kind of a really populated and busy area, especially during work time. So I've been doing a lot of knitting while I've been doing that. I actually made one friend at the bus stop for when I'm like waiting to come home, and they are just like absolutely so friendly. It's just one of those things. I was just knitting one day and they came up to me and they're like, "Are you knitting?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "What are you making?" And I was making I was actually working on the Magic Heel socks at the time, and I just kind of explained what I was making, and we kind of connected because they are very involved in the LGBTQ plus community, and then I also am an ally for that. So once again, if you do identify as being part of in that community, you are welcome here. This is a welcome space for you, and I am your ally. And I have multiple friends and family members that are also in that community. So I may be cisgendered and I may not be lesbian or bi or anything, but I believe everybody should get to love who they want or who they are drawn to love. So yeah, so you are welcome here. So I just wanted to touch on that real quick. But yeah, I've made a friend, and even though they're not a knitter, they thought what I was doing was interesting, and so we connected on that. And then other than that, I'm just trying to focus on socializing a bit more. I'm trying to get better at texting with my friends. and getting out there and getting to see them. I have a weekly knit group that I go to, so that has definitely helped. And then the fact that it's getting nice out and sunny, that helps a lot too. I find that when it's dark, here in Canada, it gets really, really dark here over the winter. Like the sun doesn't come up until about 10 a.m. and then it's going down by about 4 p.m. And then you're in office all day, right? So, and it's too cold to go outside and to actually soak up any of that sunshine that you might actually get during the winter. So spring is here, and spring hit hard. So yeah, that is everything that I wanted to talk about. I've touched on all of my finished objects, my whips, my acquisitions, future plans, everything. So if you have any questions for me about any project or anything, you can post them down below. Go ahead and find me on Instagram at Mardeana Knits. Like I said, it's the same name for Ravelry, Mardeana Knits, and I'm going to try and keep those project pages a little bit more current and up to date. I have that goal for every week to at least put complete a couple projects pages on there. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It helps a lot, and go ahead and subscribe. Recommend me to your friends. And if you consider me to be your online internet friend that has no idea that I am your friend, I appreciate you, because I have lots of those people too. I have some podcasters that I watch that they don't know it, but they are my friends. So if you considered me to be your friend, I'm flattered. Okay, so yeah, have a great rest of your day, and I hope that you have some happy crafting ahead of you, and I hope that you are having some great summer or spring plans. I hope that maybe you're getting to go and do some traveling, maybe you're having some barbecues, getting together with friends, doing some outdoor sports, doing gardening, whatever it is that gets you fired up and going this time of year. I hope that you are enjoying yourselves, and I hope that you will return and watch my next episode. Hoping to have it up in the next 2 or 3 weeks, but we'll see, right? There's no contract here. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.